Welcome to Charlie's Toy Box. Since the last time I rode this, I made an adjustment to the fuel mixture screws. I richened them up by a quarter turn. Previously, when you fired up the bike, kept starving for fuel when it was cold. Especially on startup, you couldn't touch the throttle right away. So now, I started up a couple days ago. It was one kick. I just have to remember to, when I'm holding the enricher on, when I kick it over, I got to crack that throttle a bit to get it up off idle. It'll fire up right away and it doesn't starve. So today let's try that, and we'll take it for a ride down the road and see if that cures that slight lean spot there at light throttle. So let's hope for the best today. Okay, ignition switch on. Foot peg's got to be up. Well, you're going to kick that down. So here's the enricher. Push that on. We're on run. All right, that's one kick. Hands off the enricher instantly. Bike fires right up. Give it a minute here to warm up. So that's the first acceleration. Motor's still fairly cold, just taking it easy. Light throttle. She went right through the rev range, what little RPMs I used, without feeling that lean spot. It just revved up smooth. Before you'd hear it crackle a little bit, or a few little misses. So right now, that's a good improvement. Okay, 50 miles an hour, fifth gear, about 3,600 RPM. Motor's still really not warmed up much yet, just a little bit, just staying light on the throttle, and that lean miss is gone at the light throttle opening. So that quarter turn of the mixture screw, it fixed the cold start. Just pushing the enricher, crack that throttle slightly and give it a good kick, and she fires right up. Instantly, you could add throttle to blip it, to keep it running without fear of it starving for fuel like it used to. And within a couple of seconds, I let off the enricher lever, and she kept on running, never starved. So that's a big improvement on the cold start. And then light throttle, that lean miss is gone. So still getting this bike sorted, but it's coming along nicely. Yeah, right now I'd say idle. Oh shoot. Idle's about 1,500, so about 100 or so higher than it used to be when it was running with that leaner setting. So So if that warm idle is higher with that extra fuel on it, that means it was running a bit rich. As you get better to the your optimal mixture screw or fuel screw adjustment will give you the best idle. Hear that? Smooth, no cracking, no misfire. That throttle opening before you'd hear it misfire. When I get home today though, I will be pulling the carburetors off, and I'll show you why in a later video. The carburetors are not on there in the proper order that they're supposed to be per cylinder. Basically, you've got two carbs with the mixer screws that face to the left, the fuel screws facing to the left, and that'll be the number 1 and number 2 carburetor. Those are interchangeable, but the number 3 carburetor, the one on the right, the fuel screw will be facing the right side of the motorcycle. That way it's easy to reach the mixer screw for the number 3 and the number 2. And also the number 3 carburetor with the fuel screw facing to the right has also got the vacuum port for the fuel tap. That's just smooth now. I have to say, this bike, where the jetting is, it runs really good at all RPMs now, all throughout the range. Runs nice and smooth at low RPMs for city riding. Runs nice on the highway. Once you hit 6,000 RPM, the motor just gets on the power band and livens up and revs out quick. So jetting's really good. But when I pull the carburetors to get them in the proper order, I'm going to open them up to write down the jetting, see where everything's set, what the jets are. Keep those notes wrote down for future reference, but they are jetted very, very well. That was nice, smooth acceleration. Right off the start, pulled away really easy. Kept shifting at 4,000. All that lean misfire is gone at light throttle. Oh, this is so sweet, nice. So right now, factory specs with factory jetting, bone stock the way it comes from the factory. It calls for the fuel screw being turned out 1 1/4 turns. Well, this bike has had the mods done to it by some previous owners who knows how long ago to get the power back that they lost in 76. So for 76, the KH500, Kawasaki was trying to make these bikes a little quieter and a more rideable, you know, just less smoke for the EPA. Well, that lost about 6 horses. So basically, to get that power back, you remove the extremely restrictive air intake snorkel off the top of the air box. Put a decent flowing air filter in place of the stock one, so it's got a K&N. A single K&N inside the air canister still. And you remove the restrictive baffles from the pipes. So this bike is also missing the baffles, which you can't buy. And with all those restrictive changes, they also leaned out the mixture quite a bit. So just removing the air intake snorkel and the baffles, you'd have a very, very lean running motorcycle. You definitely had to rejet it, change your pilots, change your main jets. I think you're able to reuse the same needle and needle jet. So whoever did the jetting on this years ago, I'd say at least 3 previous owners ago, did really well on the jetting. Hey, my buddy's shop's right down the hill here. It's the KTM shop, Northwest European Cycles in Parkland. It's been a family-owned shop for decades. Let's see if they're in today. The open sign is on. That's a good deal. Alright, bike's been sitting for a few hours. It's cold. Still about 77 degrees. Let's see if it'll fire up without using the enrichener. Just a little bit of throttle. Yeah. Oh, bike sounds cold. Might need the enrichener. Yep. Enrichener on. I needed it. Well, the bike had been sitting there for a few hours while visiting with friends at the shop there. So it did need the enrichener to fire up. First kick, I tried it without the enrichener, it fired and died. And second kick, I tried the same, so it didn't even kick over. But flipped that enrichener on and fired right up. Let go of the enrichener just a couple seconds later. Even cool, going up, there's a little hill right back there, and she pulled no problem. 4th gear, indicated 38, about just over 3,000 RPM, just a little. 3,700 RPM. Revs nice and smooth through there. Roll on. Easy roll on. A pull from 1500 RPM in first gear, and accelerated smoothly. Cruising down the road, about 2800 RPM. Bike's carbureting great. Throttle smooth, no misfiring, no lean misfire anymore. Miles an hour, I'm in fifth gear, about 3,300 RPM. Oh, this jetting is spot on. Fuel mixture screw, spot on. Tear these carburetors off to get them in the right sequence on the bike. Still going to open up the float bowls, see what jetting specs that this bike has, write all that down, but definitely not going to make any changes to where I have everything set right now. Nice, you could be in top fifth gear at low speeds, RPM low, smooth carburation. You don't have to be wringing out the motor the whole time. Wondering, that red light that comes on the tack over there, that's when you apply the brakes. It lights up if your brake system's working right. beam bulb is working, so I've got 2 burnt out bulbs.